Thanks for joining us today. Um, so hopefully many of you got the email that today is going to be another Yoga Nidra. It's gotten such great feedback that people are really benefiting from the relaxation of Yoga Nidra. And so I thought I would do another one today. It's kind of a modified Yoga Nidra where I'm using, I want to give credit again to Scott Moore. And and just a reminder, for those of you that are on now, if you can just wait until the end to use the Q&A, and you're so welcome. When on my screen, when somebody puts something into the chat box, it pops up, and so it's just kind of distracting when I'm teaching. So I would just love if you would hold any comments or questions to the Q&A box at the end. That would be lovely. Thank you. So anyway, I decided to do a Yoga Nidra, but it's a modified Scott Moore script. So I added in some visualization and things that I think will be helpful for the times that we're going through right now. So if you're not already lying down, and for those of you who've never done Yoga Nidra before, I'll do a really brief explanation. Yoga Nidra is deep relaxation, and there is a formula. The practice of Yoga Nidra is very, very old, thousands of years old, and was developed in India as one of the many ways to move towards enlightenment. It's not the same as meditation because my opinion is that it's more relaxing because the idea is that you can really let go and you don't have to try to focus. For many people will use it if they're having sleep difficulties, although that's not necessarily the point, but it does work really well for sleep. And it works really well for anxiety. And it helps lower the sympathetic nervous system tone. And what I mean by that is the part of our nervous system that is the fight, flight, or freeze system is very calmed by Yoga Nidra. And so it's particularly useful in times like this when there's a lot of stressful energy in the collective consciousness and in our own individual consciousnesses. So I want you to get really cozy, get really comfortable, and either lying down on a mat on the floor, rug, or in your bed. And if you are somebody who tends to fall asleep easily and you don't want to fall asleep, one thing you can do is you can be laying on your back, and then you can have your arm like this. So if I was lying on my back, my fingers would be pointed towards the ceiling. And that way, if you start to fall asleep, your hand will obviously fall down and wake you up. So you can use that as a technique if you are trying to not fall asleep during Yoga Nidra. Or if you're a snorer and you're at a group Yoga Nidra. But the teaching is that if you fall asleep, it's really not a problem. You'll hear what you need to hear. You'll get what you need to get out of today's practice. So the more you can just trust that and go with the flow, the better it is. We're going to be here for about 40 minutes. So make sure that you've got something supporting your head if you need that. And something under your knees to help your low back, maybe a rolled blanket or something. And then you can cover yourself up with a blanket as well, unless you tend to run really hot. Most people get cold during Yoga Nidra. All right, so I'm going to get started. And like I said, Scott Moore, LLC is the script that I'm using. And then I've changed it. I've changed parts of it that are my own. All right, so Begin by lying down. And again, just a reminder that even though on video we are drawn to watch the person on the screen, this practice and all meditative practices are really about going inward. And so watching me is not going to help you go inward, it's going to pull you outwards. So I would suggest that either you close your eyes, ideally, and you may even want to put like an eye pillow or a dark t-shirt or something over your eyes. It's kind of helpful to have like real sensory deprivation for this little bit. And classically, Yoga Nidra is done lying on the back with palms facing upwards, legs comfortably splayed outwards, feet about the width of a yoga mat. But as I've said before, the most important thing is really that you're comfortable. And so if lying down is uncomfortable, do it sitting up. If lying on your back is uncomfortable, try it on your side. The idea, though, is to find a comfortable spot and then to try not to move and fidget. If you're uncomfortable and you need to move, of course, then do so. But it's the fidgeting that prevents us from going deeper. So let's begin. Now that you're hopefully cozy and you've got your blanket on you, let's begin by taking a few deep breaths in through the nose and all the way down into the belly. Maybe even putting your hand on your abdomen and noticing that as you breathe in, the belly rises. And as you breathe out, the belly button moves downwards towards the spine. On your next inhale, holding the breath at the top of the inhale for just a few moments. And then allowing yourself to sigh on the out breath with an open mouth. In through the nose, hold the breath. If you don't have any breathing problems, then that's comfortable. And then an open mouth to sigh. Allowing the body to release any tension. Feeling as you sink deeper and deeper into the floor or bed. Getting as comfortable as possible. Remembering that the entire practice is simply to welcome, recognize, and witness anything and everything that comes into your awareness. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to fix. There's nowhere to go. And you will hear and receive whatever knowings you need. So you can trust that if your consciousness is sort of dreamy and like in and out, that's really normal, and just allow that to happen. Let's begin by thinking about what your heart's deepest longing is right now. What are you needing most in your life? It could be something material. It could be that, money is tight. It could be you're feeling lonely and you need to feel like you belong, or you're needing to feel loved. So take a moment and think about what you're needing the most, what you're wanting the most, what your heart's really longing for right now. And then once that's come to you, create the intention, or the sankalpa is the other word for it, with a phrase that is positively stated and specific, and as if it's already happened. So, for instance, you could say, I belong, or I am blessed with abundance, or I am loving myself and I'm loved by others. So it can be anything, but it's as if you are already experiencing this. Once you've decided on your sankalpa, restate your intention or sankalpa a few times, 3 or 4 times in your head now. In doing so, you're planting a seed. You're planting the seed of intention deep in your awareness. And the seed will continue to grow and bloom, even if you forget that you planted it. By developing awareness through this Yoga Nidra practice, you're creating the optimal conditions for this seed to grow and to bloom. Now establish your sanctuary, your personal oasis or safe haven, by visualizing a place that you've either been to, that you loved, or a place that you imagine. Imagine everything about this place. You can begin by looking around and seeing, am I inside or am I outside? If I'm outside, what's the landscape like? And remember, you're creating this to be your most ideal place, your most nurturing, most comforting, most loving place. So looking around, seeing whatever objects, whatever furniture or cushions that you can lie down on that are super cozy, if that's what you're drawn to. And then, is it day or night? What's the light like? Is there a breeze or is it still? What's the temperature like? And then intentionally bring in objects that are of comfort to you. Notice their shapes and colors and textures. Now bring in soothing sounds, or maybe you're a person who is most soothed by silence. So just intuiting what is best for you right now. Are there beautiful scents or smells in your sanctuary? Breathe those in. Remember the most soothing, comforting scents. Allow the scent to fill up your entire being. Are you noticing any tastes in your sanctuary? If you are, can you feel those tastes on your tongue and how that sense mixes with your sense of smell? And then what do you feel on your skin? What kind of clothing do you have on? Is it soft? Are there any other people or animals? Whatever is most comforting to you. What would be the most soothing emotions to feel in this oasis? And imagine yourself feeling those emotions. You can come back to this sanctuary that you've created anytime you wish. It's inside of you, it's always here. In this moment, feel the sensation of your body lying on the floor or bed. Feel your entire body. Feel the entire front side of your body. Feel the entire back side of your body. Now feel your entire body, front and back. Feel your entire body. Simply welcome, recognize, and witness the feeling of the body on the floor or the bed. Now bring your attention to the sensation of your mouth. Feel your teeth, tongue, lips, inside of cheeks. Feel your entire mouth as sensation. Bring your attention to your eyes. Feel your eyes resting back into their sockets. Feel the place where your eyelids touch. Now feel your ears. Notice the inside of your ears. Notice the outside of your ears. Feel your entire face. Your forehead, eyebrows, eyes, bridge of your nose and nostrils, cheekbones, upper lip, lower lip, chin, and jaw. Feel your entire face. Now notice the sensation of the crown of your head. Feel the back of your head. Feel your entire scalp, your crown and back of the head. Now feel your entire face, scalp, face, scalp. Now feel your entire head at the same time. Adopt the feeling of largeness in your head. Your entire head is large. Now your head is small, large, small. This doesn't need to make sense, but in this moment, your head is both small and large. Feel your head as both small and large simultaneously. What are you aware of in this moment? What you are aware of changes, but awareness stays the same. Changing sensations illuminate your unchanging awareness. Be the unchanging awareness. As awareness, Bring your attention to the sensation of your arms from shoulder to fingertips. Feel both arms. Now feel your left hand. Feel only your left thumb. All of your attention is simply witnessing the sensation of your left thumb. Now feel your right hand. Feel only your right thumb. All of your attention is simply witnessing the sensation of your right thumb. Left, right thumb. Now feel both thumbs. Feel both thumbs as two ends of one thing. Bring your attention to the sensation of your chest and collarbones. Feel your belly and notice as it breathes. Feel the sensation of your back on the floor or bed. Feel your entire back. Now feel the front of your trunk, your chest and belly. Feel the back of your trunk, your entire back, front, back. Now feel your entire trunk. Notice how changing sensations illuminate your unchanging awareness. Be awareness itself, experiencing itself as body on the floor or bed. You are awareness, experiencing itself as a body lying on the floor or bed. As awareness, bring your attention to the sensation of your pelvis. Welcome any thoughts, sensations, or emotions that may be associated with your pelvis. Recognize anything that arises for what it is and simply be the witness. Feel your entire pelvis as a sensation. Now feel your legs from hips to toes. Feel both legs from hips to toes. Feel only the left leg. Feel only the right leg. Left, right. Feel both legs. Now feel the entire left side of your body as sensation. Feel the entire right side of your body as sensation. Left side, right side. Feel both sides of your body. Feel your entire body lying on the floor or bed. What is aware of the body lying on the floor or bed? Notice what is observing the body lying on the floor or bed. Be unchanging awareness. Without trying to control or do anything, simply notice your level of relaxation. If there's any way you could relax more, allow your body to do that. As awareness, notice your breath moving in and out of your lungs. Nothing to fix or change. Simply witnessing your breath moving in and out of your body. Notice how you feel energy in your body at this moment. Choose a part of your body that feels alive with vitality. Which part of you feels energy? Does it have a color? Describe to yourself how this energy feels in your body. Now choose a part of your body that feels low energy, weak, or tired. Notice where in your body you feel that energy. Does it have a color? Describe it to yourself. Feel the part of your body with the vital energy and remember the color if that helps. Now bring your attention to only the part that feels low energy and remember the color if that helps. Now feel both energies at the same time. Feel both at the same time. Energy is always changing. Your awareness is constantly aware through these energy changes. As awareness, notice which emotion you have in this moment, or perhaps if you're not feeling anything strongly, what is an emotion you've been feeling a lot lately? You are simply welcoming, recognizing, and witnessing the emotion. You are feeling the emotion in your body. You don't need to fix or change it. You are only witnessing. If ever an emotion gets too difficult to work with, imagine going back to your sanctuary with all of your senses. If you feel okay witnessing the emotion that you feel in this moment, be curious about the emotion. Where do you feel it? Does it have a color or a texture? Are there any images that spontaneously arise when you feel this emotion? If this emotion could speak, what would it say to you? What is the opposite emotion? What does that feel like? Either remember or imagine what that feels like. Again, you can go to your sanctuary if that doesn't feel comfortable to work with the opposite emotion. Otherwise, what does that emotion feel like? Notice what arises spontaneously and simply welcome, recognize, and witness everything about that emotion. Now let go of that emotion and go back to the first emotion. Now let go of the first emotion and go back to the opposite emotion. Now feel both emotions. What is the part of you that is large enough to hold both emotions simultaneously? This is awareness. Awareness can hold any emotions. Emotions are constantly coming and going. Be the thing that can simply witness these emotions. Though you have emotions, you are much larger than emotions. You are awareness itself. As awareness itself, notice your thoughts. You're not trying to control your thoughts or change them. Merely be curious about your thoughts. Are they moving fast or slow? What is the subject of your thoughts? Notice if the thoughts evoke memories, other thoughts, words, or emotions. Simply notice your thoughts as they come and go, come and go. You are awareness. You are witnessing thoughts. Allow your thoughts to be unrestrained as you watch them as they stay fixed on one thing or move around like a bee in a garden of thoughts. Now, remember what it feels like to be sharp and focused in your thoughts. Now, remember what it feels like to feel muddy or confused in your thoughts. Neither is good nor bad. No need to fix or change. Feel sharp and focused. Now feel muddy and confused. Now feel both, like you could think very clearly about one thing and be very confused about another, even if that doesn't make sense. Notice your thinking mind. Be the awareness that can watch your thinking mind at work. Though you have thoughts, you are much larger than your thoughts. You are awareness itself. Now remember a time when you felt very happy, at peace, or in love, or sensual. Using your senses, bring this scene of happiness, love, or sensuality to life in this moment. Notice what you see, hear, smell, taste, and feel. What does happiness, love, or sensuality, or peace feel like in the body? Is there a particular part of your body that feels that emotion or sensation? Allow that feeling to spread into every part of your body and beyond, as if your body weren't large enough to contain all the happiness, peace, love, or sensuality you're feeling in this moment. Now let go of the memories and simply rest in the feeling in your body in this moment. Let go of the memories and simply rest in how your body feels. What is feeling, experiencing, and witnessing this feeling? This feeling was there all along. You uncovered it with your vision of what had made you feel happy, peaceful, in love, or sensual. But even without the vision, that feeling can stay the same. You don't need anything to feel this. This is your natural way of being. Feel free in this happiness, peace, love, or sensuality. You are awareness. As the truest part of yourself, observe yourself lying on the floor or bed, having this yoga nidra experience. Notice all the parts working together, from body to energy, thoughts, emotions, and all the rest. You are simply witnessing yourself lying on the floor or bed having this experience. Merely observe yourself lying down, practicing awareness. Feel yourself as the observer. You are the observer watching all of this happen. It's all happening in this moment. This moment is always happening. Now visualize yourself waking up very, very early, just before dawn. Imagine yourself getting up, getting dressed, and feeling compelled to go down to the lake. It's a mountain lake, and you can tell it's going to be a beautiful day. You feel compelled to grab a journal and a pen, and you walk out of your home. And you take the forest path down to this pristine mountain lake. As you're walking, you hear the birds. Still very dark out, but you can just see over the mountains the beginnings of sunlight. The sky is quite beautiful, lots and lots of sunrise colors. You make your way through the forest, and you come to the edge of the lake, and you sit down, and you feel compelled to write and maybe even speak out loud. So in your mind's eye, this is what you're doing, and you feel compelled to write down what you're grateful for. You feel as your heart opens, recognizing that no matter what's going on, there are still things to be grateful for. And as you're writing and speaking, the sun begins to rise, and you recognize how grateful you are for the sun. So, almost as if you're speaking to the sun, you're sharing everything that you are so grateful for. And the sun fills you with this warmth, this feeling of being nurtured and held, this feeling of safety and belonging to something much, much bigger than you. And you find that just out of your heart opening, you're weeping, yet you don't feel sad. It's more of a heart opening. Feel your chest expanding. Feel a warmth in your heart space. And then at some point, the letter of gratitude feels finished, feels complete. And so you get up to walk, and it's very strange. In that moment, as you're walking back, it's almost like a veil has been lifted, and everything is so bright and clear. You can see all the blades of grass, and you can see the dewdrops on the blades of grass. And the green it feels greener than you've ever seen it before. And your hearing is so sharp. You feel absolutely blissful. And you start to notice that it feels like there's no effort to walking, almost as if you had helium inside you, or as if you were walking on the moon. It feels like you're bouncing down the path, and it's the most delightful feeling. And then you start to notice this interesting, it's like a bubbly effervescence or like a tingly feeling that's moving up and down your spine from the crown of your head up and down. And it's so pleasant. It's so lovely. You find that even though you're still crying out of happiness, you're smiling. You're smiling so much your mouth hurts. And the most startling thing of all, though, is this knowing that you're feeling in your body right now. It's not a thought, it's more like a knowing. And the knowing is the absence of fear. It's a knowing that everything is happening in perfect synchronicity and timing. And that while you thought you were in control, it was all an illusion anyway. While you used to be so afraid of uncertainty, you have this knowing now in your body that everything is being taken care of, even when it looks messy and even when it feels scary. Everything is absolutely being taken care of. And for the first time in your life, you feel a total absence of fear or apprehension. It's the most blissful calm you've ever felt in your entire life. And there is a knowing that this is the deepest truth that you've ever experienced. As you walk down the path, you just enjoy being in this moment, feeling the sensations in your body, feeling the lightness, the buoyancy, and the tingling of your body. And the knowing that you have nothing to fear, that everything is being taken care of. When you reach the end of the path, you realize you've come to your sanctuary and you lie down in your sanctuary, your oasis. As awareness, notice yourself having the experience of practicing Yoga Nidra. Remember the feelings of bliss or happiness, love or peace or sensuality. These are always very close, just a breath away. For a brief moment, feel all of your senses in your sanctuary. And now repeat your sankalpa, your intention, 3 more times in your head. In a moment, you'll hear me count down from 5, and then you'll hear a bell, and that will finish your yoga nidra practice. Because of what you've experienced here today, you'll go out into the world feeling more alive, at peace, and in calm, knowing from a place not of thinking, but a place of knowing that there's nothing to fear and all is being taken care of. You'll feel in touch with the deepest parts of yourself. You'll feel it's easier to be kind, more open, and willing to be loved and loved. You'll move through your life with wisdom and wonder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. Slowly, slowly beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes. Orienting yourself in the room. And eventually coming to lie on one side if you're not already on your side. For those of you who want to rest in this state and you want to turn the video off now, please do so. For those of you who want to stay for question and answers, you're welcome to do so. Just slowly, gently come back to this type of consciousness. And be very gentle and slow, please. If you have somewhere to go or somewhere to be, take a look, especially if you're driving, please take several minutes at least. Have a drink of water, go slowly because many of you, most of you have been in a deeper state of consciousness and it can be a little disorienting at first. So please take your time, be gentle. I did want to share with you, for those of you who are not at the retreat this past weekend, it might have been last Wednesday that someone had asked why in the 4-7-8 breathing, the relaxation breathing, why do we put our tongues behind our front teeth? And I believe I had answered that, but I answered it somewhat incorrectly, I think. And so I went back to the email that I received from a participant, from Barbara. So thank you, Barbara. She works with someone who does pranic healing, and her provider told her that there is an energy channel going down the front and up the back of the body, and that the only place it disconnects is in the mouth. Having the tongue on the roof of the mouth reestablishes that energetic connection and therefore increases the flow of energy. So that is from a pranic healer, that explanation. I cannot verify that scientifically, but that is the answer I received that I'm sharing with you. I'm just going to go to the question and answers. Today I had problems relaxing. I could not shut down my mind, or I could not shut down my body only relaxed for about 20 minutes and then I couldn't sit still any longer. Is there anything I can do to shut off the urge to get up and move? It's a really good question. You know, I'm curious, is it all, if you can answer me back, Arlene, is it always like that, or was it just like that today? And while you get back to me about that, I'm going to answer another question. The more aware of my body I become, the more I notice that I itch. How should I respond? I really want to scratch. I would suggest that you really try to notice the sensation. I mean, if you have a skin illness, you know, obviously treat that. But if this might just be your body's way of just kind of being fidgety. And I think if there's not an actual skin rash or something like that, there's not an actual reason to be itchy. I think staying with the feeling and not doing anything about it, if you could tolerate that, it will likely go away. Usually when we turn our attention towards things and we just allow them to be, oftentimes they shift and change because everything shifts and changes, right? So, and Arlene got back to me that this was just today. I wouldn't worry about it, Arlene. There are days occasionally when I do yoga nidra and I feel restless, you know. I wouldn't make too much of it. And I also, you know, if you've been laying there for 20 or 30 minutes and you're feeling like you're torturing yourself, like I would just get up. I mean, this is not about torturing ourselves. So by any means. And then, yes, there's a person asking about how to get in touch with me to continue sessions. And I am doing one-on-one sessions with clients. I'm a psychiatrist, but most of what I do is not prescribing medicine. It's not really what I enjoy doing. And at this time during COVID, I feel like there's such an opportunity. People's stuff is just coming up so much. It's very uncomfortable sometimes, but it can really be useful to work with things right now. And so I want to offer that to all of you, that if you're, you know, you don't have to have a psychiatric problem to want to grow and transform and utilize this time to the best of your ability. So the best way, I'm gonna type in an answer so that people can see both my, actually, you know, I'm gonna just share my cell phone because honestly, texting me is the best way to set something up. So 608 516 0759 is my cell, and texting me or calling me to set up a phone session is what I do, a free phone session first, just so we can see if we're going to be a good fit potentially, and to talk about fees and stuff like that. But I am doing sliding scale right now for people who can't afford my usual fees, because I think the work that we can all do right now is so important. I will repeat my cell phone number.
I was going to say, do you want to, type it in? You can click on.
I did type it in.
I think I had already selected answer live. So.
Okay. 608 516 0759.
Sorry, do it again. 608
516 0759.
Okay.
And then I have another question. Do you have ideas or techniques to do a quick relaxation or stress release? Say you encounter a stressful situation and want to counter those feelings. So I just, want to say well, yes, I do. The thing that I teach almost every time. I didn't teach it this time, but I do teach it almost every time. And I think the best thing to do to learn it is to go to YouTube and type in 478 breathing, Dr. Weil. And there's a 5-minute video. I'm just looking it up to see what the exact title is. Yeah, Dr. Weil, Weil, 478 breathing. And it's 5 minutes and 38 seconds long. And the image is of the back of a woman with a white tank top on. There's several videos by him though, and they're all really good. Yes, the session will be available online. The video will be available, and the other ones are too, on the Monona Terrace website. So John, that's the idea that I have for, bringing about quick relaxation is 478 breathing. Some people, Dr. Weil calls it a natural tranquilizer. The more you practice it, the better it works. When I work with clients that have quite a bit of anxiety or stress in their lives, I have them set an alarm on their phone or watch for every 30 minutes or every 60 minutes. Yes, Weil, Weil, Carol, that's right. I have them set something on their watch for every 30 to 60 minutes and then do 4 cycles of 478 breathing every 30 to 60 minutes while you're awake. It takes like 30 seconds and it really does calm your nervous system. I would suggest that you do that like for 3 weeks, that you do it that consistently. Obviously, you're not going to do it every hour. You're going to miss sometimes, and that's fine. But if you do it even like 5, 6, 7 times a day, then when you're in that moment of severe stress, it's going to kick in automatically. You don't want to be learning something like that when you're in a moment of stress. You want to have practiced it and have it like be second nature, so that your mind, because when we're in fight, flight, or freeze, usually our mind, our the frontal cortex, the part of our brain that helps us like process things, it shuts down. And so you're not going to be able to think real clearly in those moments. And that's just being human. Our bodies are designed to run when encountered with a severe stressor. And unfortunately, if that's like your boss yelling at you, or, an illness or whatever, it's not really conducive to our minds shutting down, but that's what happens. And so we almost have to like bring the frontal cortex, bring the thinking mind back online. Thinking through these situations is totally useless, because the amygdala, the fear center of the brain, is running the show. The primitive centers of the brain are running the show. And that's why using 478 breathing to calm down the fight or flight system, then you'll eventually be able to think and logic and, work with whatever is in front of you. But trying to do that from a logical space when you're emotional, and there was something in your question about, like, I don't remember the words you used, but it was something about counteracting emotions or something like that. And I just want to say that I think emotions are always okay. Emotions are just energies. They're just moving through you. And the less you can think about them as needing to block them or stuff them or counteract them, the easier this whole thing is, because then we can calm our nervous systems down. We can deal with the emotion, whether that's we need to cry, whether that's we need to yell in our car because we're feeling angry and we don't want to yell at someone. So yeah, I would really encourage you to allow your emotions, to feel your emotions, even though that's very counterculture sometimes. But from personal experience, I was a big emotional stuffer for much of my life until about 10 years ago. And it changes everything to start to allow yourself, when you have the tools, to feel. Let me see, there's a couple.
I think that's it.
Yeah, and you're so welcome, everyone. I really can very truthfully say that this brings me so much joy and so much happiness to do this. This practicing with you it brings me just as much, if not more, than it brings you. So I'm full of gratitude that you show up. So thank you.